Okay, it is game two. So Svenison versus Rail. It is the same map as before. This time we have a reversal of positions. Svenison is the Terran in the top right, in the red trunks, and in the green trunks in the bottom left it is Rail. If you watched the first game, you will know that Rail is up 1-0 in this series. So I think these guys are going to play a best of three. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, this time Svenison getting the depot down in time to avoid the supply block, I hope. And it is Rail that is slightly late with his depot. Rail again going for this double depot opening. Depot, I don't know, tomato. I think I say depot, which is actually, that's American version, isn't it? And it's probably just because I've watched so many Scraft casts and they're generally casted by Americans. Testosis, you've got a lot to answer for. On the other hand, I don't know, like Apollo, all those people, a lot of Brits as well. Oh, who knows? Anyway, I'm going to continue to call them depots. Yeah, so everything looking very, very normal up here in Svenison's base. Everything looking very, very normal here in Rail's base. I wonder, given that he had such success in the last game with that 5 racks build, is he going to repeat that? I wonder, is Svenison, having taken a beating from the 5 racks in the last game, going to have some sort of defensive position? Soon we will find out. It does. This is beginning to look very similar to the last game. So Rail building the 4th barracks, the 3rd and 4th, well actually the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th simultaneously in construction there. And Svenison, what are you going to do about this? In the last game it caught you completely unawares. I'll be honest, neither player was really doing much in the way of scouting in the last game. So what are you going to do this time? This map does have these 2 Zelnaga watchtowers in the middle of the map. You leave a unit on that, it gives you vision for pretty large radius, certainly a significantly bigger radius than any unit in the game has. We can say, what's Svenison up to here? What is this worker doing? He hasn't really gone in the right direction to do any scouting. If he was trying to scout inside his opponent's base, he wouldn't be able to get in. So I'm not really sure what that's about. So we see there is another barracks coming down for Rail. Again, he's gone for that. I'm going to build 5 barracks, but I'm not going to bother actually building any marines from them. But it worked for him last time. Svenison, again, building a factory in exactly the same place as he did last time. I don't really know what that's about, but he did manage to get an entire worker line kill last time, despite the fact that he was already dead. So we'll see what happens. Production of marines has kind of started for Rail, but still only coming out of these 2 barracks. Rail, you could really do with an orbital command there. Orbital command doubly useful with this sort of build, because if you do manage to get yourself supply blocked, you can drop extra supply onto a depot and bail yourself out of that. Sven, I wonder, are you going to go for Hellions? Because if you are, you want to get them in there nice and early. The key would be to fire a few Hellions out, maybe leave them parked somewhere about here, leave this worker parked somewhere in this area, so that you can assume that there's a wall here. But if your worker's parked here, you will know whenever your opponent moves out, and if they've moved out, they've pretty good chance they've left the front door open, and you can run those Hellions in to do untold damage. However, things at home don't look very different. The top of this ramp looks pretty similar to the top of the ramp in the last game, and I can't help but feel that if Rail shows up with a similar number of marines, we will have a very similar outcome to this game. Svenison, if you're not going to scout, find out if your opponent is doing a similar build. You did drop a scan, you saw that there was no expo. That's, normally that makes me suspicious. If somebody doesn't expand, they're doing something off one base, they're doing some sort of one base aggression, so it's going to be hitting you early. So personally, I'd be worried about that happening. I would want to drop a scan in the main base, and if I do and I see all these marines, then I'm going to be like bunker. Alternatively, if I had my factory at home, I would be like siege tank, bunker. And a siege tank behind a wall is just devastating to light units like marines, absolutely devastating. So here we go. There is going to be a Thor coming out of this, but that Thor on its own, the DPS from marines is extremely high, and marines will kill a Thor pretty quickly. a single, you know, I did say I was extolling the virtues of a single siege tank. A siege tank out in the open against this many Marines isn't going to cut it, but in behind a wall where the Marines cannot shoot the siege tank, it can do a lot of damage. Oh no. Oh, this timing though. Oh no. Oh no, Sven. That has not gone well. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine how this defense could have been worse. I'll be honest. It's difficult to imagine how that could happen. Here we've got one Marine in a medevac. Where is the Thor? Where is it? Did I miss something? Where did the Thor go? Oh, here he is. This Thor is... I'm not even sure where to look on this map. These guys are mauling this base. Half got the CC. This Thor is going to just walk in through... What the hell, man? You know, crimes against StarCraft is what's happening here, really, isn't it? Crimes against StarCraft. A lot of these Marines are just hanging out with their buddies. The command center is dead. Svenison has not rebuilt his base. He does have a reasonable amount of money. He's got a reasonable amount of supply. Will he start another Thor in production? He needs to start it soon. He doesn't want to run out of supply. If he dumps out the Marine, you can pick up a Thor in a medevac. And obviously these SCVs cannot do damage to that Thor if it's in there. You don't want to lose this Thor. I mean, given that your entire game hangs on this Thor winning for you, you are going to lose it. And the medevac, you could have picked it up with the medevac, man. So Rail is probably feeling pretty comfortable that he has thoroughly crushed this game. Svenison, you do have enough money to build something. Build a thing. This Thor we're going to see is not going to be able to cope with the huge DPS from these Marines. And again, this game is over. I am a little disappointed, Sven, that you didn't take the learning from the first game. You know, your opponent kind of had an easy win, so why wouldn't they try it again in game 2? Why wouldn't they? Which is exactly what Red has done. They've built a whole bunch of Marines, they've marched across the map, and they've kicked your ass. So why weren't you ready for it second time round? You know, I quite like the Thor. A bit weird, but I quite like it. I like something a bit out of the ordinary, why not? But you needed to have something defensive at home. You couldn't just have, you know, a pair of depots and a racks and hope for the best. That's going to keep out an army. It isn't. Where's that GG? Yeah. Why am I not surprised? So these guys are just going to shoot up everything pretty quickly. Take out the supply depots. What's left? It's the tech lab. You should be able to see it. It should be visible on the minimap. I don't know why he's searching about the place. It is visible on the minimap. You know, once your opponent has no command center, well, it's all over anyway. It's been over for a while. Okay, so Sven goes down 2 games. 2 games to 0. GG.